Okay, so I wanted to make a video on this specific system and process, and this is going to be called the Client Success Onboarding Machine for Slack, okay? And so I went over this concept on one of the most recent Zoom calls. It was the one that was the last one in December, if you'd like to go check that out with the group discussion and the questions that were asked on here. But I'm going to run through this simple system. And so keep in mind, this is not an all-in-one solution for client onboarding. These are a few separate workflows that are independent of each other, but keep this in mind as I'm going through the visual that I am just using these icons and charts and visuals to allow you to look at it and conceptualize it in a different way. But keep in mind, all of these logos here are different triggers for independent workflows because of how Zapier is built. Unfortunately, this is 5 workflows in one concept. I wish you were able to build it exactly like I have here, but I just wanted to say that before I go more in depth on this, okay? All right, so everything here is centered around a channel on Slack called Client Success. So if you're in here, you should probably have a Slack channel by now, and you should have a specific one for you and your team, or for you to chat and receive notifications about things that are related to client success. This is going to be big help even if you don't have team members. You're going to want to receive notifications almost like texts every time something happens in your business. And we use Slack for this, even if it's just notifications you don't have a team. Okay? And so this is going to be called Client Success Channel, and the whole goal of this system is to be constantly updated on the entire client status throughout the client journey, okay? And so it all starts right here in PandaDoc or DocuSign. If you use contracts, then this is going to be your contract sending platform. If you decided off the program so far you don't need contracts just yet, then this could be a Google form submission, and we already have that right here. So just take this out of the picture. But this first step is going to be for those who use contracts. I would highly recommend using contracts for your service. Okay, and then so what we have here is a trigger in PandaDoc for getting a new client. So anytime we have a document that's completed, for us that means that we now have signed a new client. Okay, and this is the first touch point with the client in terms of tech on the back end. So they go ahead and they complete the document, meaning they are a client now. So what we can do is we can set this up with a trigger, which is right here, new client, PandaDoc to Slack. Trigger is going to be the app called PandaDoc, and the event is going to be document completed, okay? And it's going to be very simple. We're going to just want to send a Slack notification. And the action on this workflow is just one, app, Slack, event, send channel message. And so we have a specific copy for this, and there's a specific format to it that you're going to want to follow to make sure the Slack message looks good and it's not messy. And this is pretty much as dialed in as you can get it. And so to keep in mind for the future, the asterisks around the words mean bold, and the some of the hyperlinks look like this right here, submission link, okay, or transcription link. So we're going to want to do new client alert. A new client has just signed the proposal with the name of the document and the name of the client. So this is usually like the deal structure and then the name of the client. So now anytime you sign a client, you automatically get notified instead of just getting an email from PandaDoc. And now if you have team members, they can get notified as well, okay? So that's the first touch point. Next touch point is new onboarding call. So what we talk about a lot is in the same workflow, which is not shown here, it's shown earlier in the program. We are also sending this person a welcome email that includes the link to our onboarding form, our welcome video, and our onboarding call link. So this is included in the email they get. So they sign the contract, they get an email. They read the email, they watch the welcome video, now they book their onboarding call. And so what are we going to do? We're going to send a notification. So new Calendly invite created, action is going to be send message in Slack. And then we're going to want to do onboarding call scheduled. A new session has been booked with the name of the person, the client, and then the time. So helpful for me. I don't have to look at Gmail and Google Calendar anymore to know. And now that I have a client success manager, he doesn't have to check my emails or his emails either. He's automatically getting notified. Okay, so this is great. And now he automatically knows that there is a new call with a client. And so what I would recommend is if you have like a discussion maybe about what to expect on this call that you want to share with the team member, go ahead and just use this notification to click the reply button on it and then have a thread underneath it of your conversation. So now you can stay super organized with Slack too. All right, so now they booked the onboarding call. They're still on the email. Now they're booking the onboarding forms, through Google Forms, Jot form, paper form, type form, whatever you're using. And so this onboarding form submission, we're going to want to notify ourselves as well. So this is where is it? New onboarding form submission in Google Forms. Automatically send a channel message. New onboarding form submitted. New submission has been received. You can change this text if you'd like with the name of the client as well as the name of the submission link with the link hyperlinked. So now our team member, usually with Google Forms, it's very hard. You get an email, that's about it. Now you get a notification through Slack. You can check it out right there, the information about the client, and your team member can do so as well. All right, and so then what happens? Well, it's time for the call. They get on the call goes great, deliverables are set, but now we want to go back to this call for training purposes, or maybe we have a question later on in the project. So what are we doing? We're using Firefly's AI to transcribe the meeting that we're having. And we're also recording using Zoom, and we're recording our calls with our clients because you need to. Okay, you need to be recording the calls with your clients. So instead of going to zoom.com and going and grabbing the recordings or going to a Drive folder or going to Firefly's AI, we're also going to want to send the AI transcription of the summary of the meeting. And then once the recording is done, we're going to want to send the recording as well. Okay, so this can also be the same automation if you're pretty advanced with it so far. These two can be in the same automation. I'll give you a hint. This is the trigger. And there's also an action to find recent transcription, okay? But for the sake of this video, to make it simple, these are two separate automations. And so that's going to be new onboarding call recording from Zoom, call recording, new recording on Zoom. I would set up a filter if you have multiple different types of calls, and you're going to want to identify the call by the name, and the name should have onboarding in it. And then we're going to send a channel message right here, onboarding call recording, the topic of the call, the name of the call, and the link of the recording. Same goes with the transcription from Firefly's AI. Okay, so now we have a Slack channel that is going to run itself, okay? And anything else in the channel can be about client-related discussion, or you can reply under the notifications that we've set up. But now, when you go and travel, or you go and take a day off, and different things happen in your business, you don't need to tell the other team members or necessarily write it down or take note of it, because at every step of the client journey, someone is being notified and all of it is being documented, okay? So this is a super valuable concept. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask.